let's just go back to this setup because it's everything. And that's the thing. I mean, it seems that there's the rule of 6 and then there's the wear the mask or don't wear the mask and the social distance is 2 meters and then it's 1 meter. And it just seems that since there's no clear cut science-based protocol that everyone's left wondering. And I've heard that even some theaters have completely redone their seating plan for social distance. But the truth is, a month later, that rule could be changed and then the capital's gone. Same with the filters, same with all that. I mean, these sound like big capital expenditures. And then what the proposal you're talking about could quite literally bring back theater if we could just agree on the science or test the science. So how do you move that forward to where you can, I don't know, do a pilot program and test it? I heard some figures this week that came out last week that were talking about where is this transmitted? Where is the virus being transmitted? And it was like 43% still in care homes, 26% in schools and universities, 15% in offices, less than 5% in the hospitality space. And so if the numbers are that low, then it's worth taking some calculated risks, especially when you're talking about an economy which can lead to mental health and even physical health and even death rates. So how do we push that forward? Or I guess how do you get those answers to find out if you can open these theaters? And also, I feel like if you could take one and do it, it would open up everyone's eyes. Just like getting people to eat out was partially getting the fear out of people's systems, not just the customers, the workers, the entrepreneurs. So how could we move forward there?
I think there is an appetite to go back to the theatre, absolutely. Not us, but other organisations have been doing sort of public surveys to kind of find out what the appetite has been, and it has slowly been increasing over the last few months. I mean, I'm not sure what's going to happen now with the kind of reversal of things, whether people's appetite will start to decrease, but there is an appetite. I think absolutely, if we were able to increase capacity to 60 or 70%, we would be able to sell those tickets as well. I think on the science question, Public Health England are on some of the meetings that I take part in.
It was their study that I just quoted.
Yeah, so we're part of a thing the government set up called the Events and Entertainment Working Group. So us and a bunch of other people running theatres and outdoor venues and all sorts of things are trying our best to kind of come up with these mitigating measures, as I say. And we are running some pilot schemes, some pilot testing things to find out, which Public Health England are also taking part in. So I'm hopeful that we will get to a stage where Public Health England are satisfied that this is COVID safe. And you're right about the expense. You might be aware that Andrew Lloyd Webber, he owns a number of theatres in the West End, including the Palladium, and he ran a pilot scheme, a pilot event with the fantastic Beverly Knight, West End performer, and he's thrown everything at it. I mean, absolutely everything. And because he has the money to do so. So what we're keen to do, because we're keen to make sure that the smaller theatres are also able to take part in this and no one is left out. Because there are about 1,100 theatres across the UK and about 60% of them are under 400 seats. So yes, you've got the juggernauts like the National Theatre and the Palladium and so on and so forth, but actually the vast majority of people see theatre in little studios and rooms above pubs, and we want to make sure that those guys can come back as well, because that's actually where your emerging talent comes from as well. People don't start off at the Palladium or the National Theatre, they start off in a pub round the corner, doing an amateur show or whatever. So that's kind of really important as part of the sector, as part of how we reopen. So we're hopeful that these experiments will demonstrate that it's feasible to reopen safely, and we'll just have to see.
What happened with Lloyd Webber? He found that it wasn't.
Well, what he wanted to do was he actually wanted to do a non-socially distant show to demonstrate to Public Health England and to the Department of Culture, Media and Sport that it could be done safely, but they wouldn't let him because it's not allowed. Right. So he did a socially distant show to demonstrate all the things that you could throw at it. So, I mean, he's thrown everything at it, replacing all the door handles with I can't remember what it is now, but it's a kind of covering or metal that doesn't, which the bugs can't survive on. He has fogging machines that you have to walk through that basically just kind of zap everything as you're walking through them. I mean, that's all really expensive kit. And what we're trying to make sure we do as Theatres Trust is to make sure that whatever standard we agree with government isn't so ridiculously high that those important little theatres in villages and towns across the country, that they aren't excluded from that. So again, I won't get into too much boring technical detail, but we are pushing really hard to say, if you have a freestanding air conditioning unit with all the right filters in it, that should also be sufficient. I mean, we need to test all that to make sure we can prove that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're hoping that will come through.